God's heart for the unreached people can only be seen when we look at the cross of Jesus Christ. Because when Jesus died on the cross, he died for all people. He died for every single soul who lives in the darkness.
There's a dark legend in Mongolia about the mother tree, which is believed to be a gateway to the spiritual world. And they believe that if they find a clearing in the mountains with only one tree, that they found a holy tree and they worship it. The Mongolians are a nomadic people. They are constantly moving, following their flocks to new fields, never putting down roots, always searching for the next thing. But they aren't just physically nomadic, they're also spiritually nomadic. And so we took a trip to Mongolia with one objective: to listen. Because when you listen to the stories of the marginalized, often what you hear is the heartbeat of God. Meet Dolgor. She started a ministry that takes care of the hundreds of homeless children that live in the local garbage dump. Many of these children are abandoned by their families, and some freeze to death each winter. But every morning, buses arrive at the landfill and bring the kids into the city, where Dolgor provides free school programs and meals for them. She's also digging a clean water well inside the landfill and building a home next to it for the children to live in.
When we drive to that garbage place, we saw one gentleman carry a huge bag, and I immediately opened the window, take a picture. That picture is forever in my mind because it's so shocking. I don't think I have the courage to approach him to tell him God loves him. He looked at us and maybe said, "Why I do believe your God? Your God is not good to me."
Jesus didn't just talk about love, he demonstrated it. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, and comforted the suffering. We realized we couldn't just show up and preach at them. We had to earn the right to talk about their souls by proving that God also cared about their bodies.
1993, my family was very difficult, very poor. One of the missionaries, he is sharing good news our family. First time I don't understand because I'm very young. Then one night I just prayed. He said, "You are my daughter."
Nara discovered who she was when she discovered whose she was. She became a pastor and started a church full of children and youth with a vibrant worship culture and after-school ministries. But her church, like every church we visited, is struggling to survive.
The economy of Mongolia is really not in good shape. The unemployment rate is like 27%. Most Mongolian people are suffering from the economic situation. So it's very hard for the church to support their own pastors.
There are pastors working full-time as taxi drivers. Another pastor we met, Pastor Harleon, has no staff and single-handedly pastors 2 separate churches.
I really see the Chinese churches in the United States are so blessed. But when we look at the churches in Mongolia, they are our brothers and sisters in the world. All that has been given to us, they should have a share too. Because we are brothers and sisters.
As a businessman, I believe everything I can conquer it, I can overcome it through my own capability. But the thing is, yesterday we saw that huge poverty problem faced to us, and I know I cannot do anything about it. Then the question is, God, why you put me in this situation?
God doesn't call us because we are able to do anything. Because when God called us, God empowered us. God didn't call me because I was able to do anything. God called me, and He wanted me to respond to the calling, not because I was able to do anything, but simply because He called.
When God called Pastor Softa, she answered. And when she told her husband, he left her. When God called Pastor Kashegi, she also answered. And when she decided to plant a church, her father-in-law disowned her. But it's the very ones that the world rejects that are the guests of honor at the king's table. See, our God is not like their holy tree that has to be found. Rather, He sees the lost, the hurting, the oppressed, the orphan, and the widow, and he pursues them until they are found. And he invites us to do the same, to offer the same invitation that we were once offered, to bring the wandering nomad to lie down in his green pastures and finally find rest from their searching, to welcome the fatherless into a family and the homeless into a home. This is the heartbeat of God. And for those who hear it, let obedience be our objective, compassion our commission, and His glory our reward.